board to testify in favor of their passage. So a little commercial there. And as Bob pointed out, we were kind of pleasantly surprised by Segway nationally coming in and saying they don't have any problem with being regulated on the county on a county basis. And then so the next step after this, the only thing is that that means it's a two-step process, because then we have to go back to the county and try and come up with a what we would consider reasonable regulation. And there you have to make some exceptions. For example, should the police decide they want to use segways, then just like you allow police bicycles. I don't know if they have any police skateboards, but they definitely have police bicycles. Just like we allow police bicycles on the sidewalks, we could allow police segways as well. The Waikiki Beach smoking bill, I heard some discussion about that earlier. WIA has not discussed this bill, so we don't have a position on it, but we will be. So if the bill continues to advance, hopefully between the residents and the businesses, we can come up with a consensus on whether we want to support or oppose that bill or not. The HTA is in real difficult times at the legislature. I think anybody who's been following it knows that both the House and Senate are advancing bills to create to eliminate HTA and create a Department of Tourism. And it still remains to be seen whether those bills will pass or not. But I have to say that HTA has, I think, done a tremendous job of helping to develop the community around tourism. In other words, it's not just the marketing effort behind tourism. And only really in this last 6 months of 2008, when they went through the difficulty over the CEO, and they went through the major concerns over the drop-off in tourism and the need for more marketing dollars, did what they kind of, to me, come unraveled a little bit. But that, I think, is something that can be solved by additional planning and more leadership that can come at HTA. And we in the industry are saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, HTA has done a tremendous job, and we would like to see it continue. One last point, and that is that we are also very concerned and have been following the issue of illegal camping and the proliferation of people who've just decided to live in the parks in Kapulani Park and Waikiki Beach and the like. I think that the most important thing that we've got to always remember, as difficult as a problem as it creates for us, is that being homeless is not illegal. So we have to look at what are the problems that we're really trying to address. I mean, so if the problem is that we have people that are creating hazardous situations or unsanitary situations, then those are the things we've got to address. And I think I applaud Councilman Dejoux and the city administration for doing the best they can. I've talked to Lester Chang, who's the head of the Parks Department, and they are actively looking at the next round of changes to the law to make it easier to enforce those laws. And I do believe that the HPD is doing the best job that they can with all the constraints both from prosecution and the letters of the law, and the difficulties that they have just in the execution of some of the issues. For example, somebody mentioned earlier about, oh, the sleeping bag stays there all day long. Well, they passed a law that says that's unattended property and therefore can be confiscated. But the lawyers are saying, well, gee, but if it's unattended property and you pick it up, you have to store it for 30 days and allow the owner to come and claim it. So we're trying to come up with language to change that to so that instead that becomes discarded, something that was discarded, or in other words, rubbish, so we can just throw it away. Because otherwise, we've got to find some place we can store all this stuff for 30 days. So in that regard, we're trying to work around those problems, and I know they're difficult, and I'm frustrated just like everybody else. But I think that, but I don't think it hurts to keep bringing it up and to keep saying that this is a problem that we have to address, because we're never going to reach a solution unless all of us keep at bringing the problem to the fore. Thank you.
I'd like to add one thing to that before I give Ray a chance. At Rick's invitation, I attended the opening of the Pro Bowl block party. I usually go down there, show face for the neighborhood board, and this man put together a great block party, almost single-handed, and he got to Sorrel to contribute $65,000.
That was for Sunset on the Beach.
For Sunset on the Beach, but we're standing in front of their stage. So this is one of the hardest working guys in the state for us. He works day and night with his one intern and one worker, I think you have.
Yeah, everything else we contract out. We only have one full-time staff person and one intern. Oh, great. But I have to give the credit to the NFL for the block party. They actually spend over $100,000 on that block party. So NFL they don't do things cheap. And so they did a really nice job with it. We helped them organize the first one, but thankfully we contribute the Sunset on the Beach portion of it, so about 20%. But the rest of it is done by the NFL, and we're partners with them.
And I went to the Pro Bowl, and I had a good time at the Pro Bowl. I hope we can keep the NFL Pro Bowl here in Hawaii in 2011. I really do. I hope HTA and
I think
the
2011, 2012 aren't going to be a problem. Then, of course, we'll have to see after that.
Because I love the NFL, man. Lou knows that. Lou Erdachek. I always seen him at the games. I didn't see you this year, but.
Yeah, I didn't go this year, no.
Oh, it was great, man. What a great game.
Yeah.
Rick, in front of a business storefront, how much space can they take on the sidewalk, if any at all? Because on Ena Road at the intersection of Hobron, there's a fairly new business, about 3 months now. They're selling these yo-yos, and I thought I seen a few Segways also. And they're out 5, 6 feet. They could also be renting them from that location.
Well, the setback laws, where is on Ena Road, you said?
On Ena, between Kalakaua and Ala Moana Boulevard, at Hobron, where Hobron comes out to Ena, you make your left.
You know, I believe that as long as they don't have any permanent structures in that area, in other words, if they just have, if they're just putting product there, or if they're putting tables out that are, you know, movable, portable tables, I don't think that's against the zoning regulation. It may be that they can't do it on a regular basis, though. I'll have to check into that. But because that area there can be no structures in that area. But I'm not sure that there's anything in the law that doesn't allow them to basically bring product out into that area and sell it from there, as long as they don't have anything, they haven't established anything permanent there. Yes, Robert?
Bob already stole my thunder on this, but to compliment you on the Pro Bowl block party, it was, you know, it was so great to walk through Waikiki, not just at the start of the block party, but going all the way down from where which is at the Gateway, that's where I live. I mean, the whole street was packed. Everybody was having a great time. Families, kids in the shirts, and it was just a great atmosphere. And I know you don't want to give WIA, excuse me, too much credit, but you should take it because you're partners with the NFL. You guys put on a great show, and everybody really enjoyed it. And if I ever am critical on the camping and the vagrants and everything, it's because I want people to have that image of a great time in Waikiki and not leave with something that's negative. And I think we all work together. We can have more of what you're doing and less of the problem. So compliments to you.
I appreciate that, and I have to say that we actually had one other major partner for the Pro Bowl block party, and that was the city. It's been something that the mayor has thought all along, was that we needed to get more mileage out of the Pro Bowl being in Hawaii. In other words, it shouldn't just be something that happens at the stadium. And certainly, and when you want to do something that can bring everybody together, Waikiki's the place to do it.
Carol Sword?
Rick, if the HTA is dissolved, would the marketing go back to the Hawaii Convention Bureau?
Well, I think that the intention was to create a Department of Tourism that would replace HTA. So the primary difference between the Department of Tourism and HTA was that it would have less independence. It would be, the director would be appointed by the governor. Their budgets would be more closely